she was in the car before. Then we got Hook,
Maury Hook,
Cunnington,
yeah,
and
Noel
back.
Cunnington and Peter Back, indeed, yes.
Going for a start now, Jonesy.
And we are, it's Geminis versus HQs. Geminis on the front row, HQs on the second row. Now watch the Geminis get swamped off the line because the HQs better power down.
Yeah, they do. You can see them barreling through the corner. We missed turn one today, folks, unfortunately. There's a reason for that, and I'll explain to you later. But there come there's a bit of
two cars being shuffled wide out there, and it looks like it's Willis.
They've lost momentum. One of those was the Kira Automatics car, or Willis, as they make their way through turn number 2 now down the long back straight. They are pushing hard, Jones. Straight out of the box, they are having a red hot crack. Look at them 3 wide, now 4 wide. Hello.
Oh, they needed grass to get 4
and
wide to
there's
work.
a Gemini sandwich going on down here.
Simpson on the inside gets it
no.
done. No, there's contact and a heavy collision there between Greg Chesterfield and a black HQ. Unfortunately, doesn't narrow it down.
That is big damage on the front of both
I think it might be Montgomery is the HQ involved. That was head on.
Yeah, it's car
and
51.
yeah, both.
Is that 31?
31 is Happy Days, John Carter.
Is that 35? I can't see
there's
the
no
number.
35. 31 makes it John Carter, who's been involved in that collision there with Greg Chesterfield. It was nobody's fault. The collision between the two of them was nobody's fault because Chesterfield was sort of unloaded into that position, and Carter had nowhere to go.
We're on flashing red, Jonesy.
Yeah. So bring them back into the pits for a flashing red.
Yes, we'll bring them back in and line them back up on the pit lane. So there's a fair bit of damage out of those cars that there at the moment as we bring the cars in the pit. As you can see, both drivers are A-OK. There's nothing to do about it. You just arrive at the scene.
Maybe not A-OK, maybe B-OK.
We talked about the colour scheme on the
U-OK for
on the Concept Tiles Toowoomba.
Yeah, completely new
steering and suspension car of
the orange is gone, and he's filled it up with green. Back in the pack some ways.
Another one of the very many cars that Dennis Bullpit from Toowoomba Steering and Suspension look after. Does an awful lot for us as well in go-karting. As we get set to either tow and recover a couple of cars here, think, oh, this fire extinguisher is ready. To be sure.
Well, you don't imagine after a collision like that that one of the car isn't leaking some kind of fluid.
It's more the batteries though is the problem. There's a tow truck out to do the recovery. Should take, we can do.
Wonder what the lap record is for a tilt tray.
It's an interesting car. Darth Vader's come to race with us today, Jonesy.
Oh dear.
Look at that. That's Jason Lewitt's car.
Jason and Mark Levitt, you would assume.
It's great, love to see. They are, of course, fantastically talented electricians. Cars have been heavily looked after by the guys initially by Ian Woodward. Couldn't get a better man to help you set up a race car.
He certainly knows his General Motors products.
As we take a little time to go and clear these cars around.
So we've got the Brock Mitchell car with green, with added greenness and no orangeness. In the background of the shot there he is, car number 1.
Great looking car. Concept Tile still very much a big part of that team as well.
That's the Maury Hook Gemini.
And the Manchester Builders as well. Plenty of little words of advice going from certain drivers to everybody else. It's car number 8. That's
the Girdlestone Scrivener car.
Now,
Pulse hitter, no less.
Is that Nick at the wheel? Can you hear me down there in the pit wall? Is that Nick Girdlestone driving? Give me a thumbs up if it is.
Yeah, he's not listening to you.
No, can't see. You can't. We're looking down. You can't see you can't see, folks. We're looking outside of our vision here, but you can see we're just starting to drag the cars up onto the tilt tray. The first one will be the HQ.
I imagine it's Jake at the wheel. Seeing as he's the car owner. Unless they're going for a driver change right now.
Yeah, the door's open, and that's what we're doing.
Here we go.
The door's open the car.
Oh, full face speedway style helmet, so maybe that is Nick.
Yes, they know what they can hear us there. The race, there's some spectators on the hill. Afternoon, folks. I'll be over on the phone. We're back to car number 8 again, the Scrivener car. There's a lot of damage on the front of that Kiwi. And that nose to corner hit like that did on a Gemini, that's done a lot of damage to the front of that car as well.
And it's not, oh, hang on. No, sorry, I was confusing that car with another car. I was going to say that the number 17 had taken a hit recently, but of course it's the 31, so not the same car. Now that's a massive shame. John Carter, a former winner of this race, and it's that'll be a tremendous shame if we lose them for the weekend. Ben Simpson and
There's
John
Corey
Carter.
Willis's car, the HQRAQ Automatics four-door Gemini. Those guys, that car's been one of the older cars in the field, and being a sedan like I used to run. In fact, it's the same as I used to run. It's been on the money from the get-go in the last couple of years, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, Nick Rangeley's always driven four doors.
And unfortunately, this week too,
Ron Lake.
Yeah, we celebrated the life of a man that was heavily involved in Geminis for a long time, didn't we? Really?
Yeah, Graham Ward. Sad loss to the sport.
And was one of the inevitable people that started this category off years ago, and been involved with it right until nearly to the current day. And it's a sad passing as we lost him, unfortunately, but we did do. And there was plenty of people down to celebrate his life on early this week at his funeral. Good to see so many people there as well. It's Gary Bolnick sitting very calmly at the
multiple Queensland champion, two-time Australian HQ champion. That's something not a lot of Queenslanders can claim.
And one of the oldest competitors out there today too. But one of the best driving instructors I've ever seen. Imagine being in Toowoomba and rolling up and getting Gary as your driving instructor.
Oh, if I was in getting an advanced driver course and he sat down next to us, there would be laughter, and then there would be.
Oh, I think he'd give up.
Then there would be embarrassment.
He would give up for you. He would just Judge, it's not worth it, mate. Seriously.
Can I have someone else, please?
Yeah. The commentary team's a real Captain Slow.
Yeah, that's not a good look there for Chesterfield. That car's had a couple of big hits recently. Chesterfield was removed from the championship last year after a very large hit at Morgan Park.
Look at that.
And the car had already taken...
But it's had a hit in the left chord and has hit in the front.
Well, you would suggest that the dent in the right rear corner was the initial contact.
Yeah, probably.
And that put him into a spin.
And that rails looks like it's possibly come across in the front as well, so that's not a nice thing.
Always been a very fast car, but yeah. It's,
I've repaired a few over the years of these things. Same one numerous times.
Well, that's part of Gemini racing. Yeah.
I don't think anything apart from the roof was the same on that motor car. From start of one year to the second year when it finished. The roof turret, I think, was the only thing that was original.
No, it's like the old story about the broom. If you replace the brush, and then
Yep.
a little later date you replace the handle. Is it still the same broom?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, effectively, it's not. That's the thing a lot of times do with restoration in cars too, Mark, where there's so much, if you look, we're repairing a car and so much of the old car that's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And the Matamod says ethically, as far as he's concerned, as long as the turret, the A pillar and the C pillars are still there,
Yeah.
it's the same motor car as far as he's concerned.
Well, that's not unreasonable.
I just laugh. I said you put way too much time and thought into that.
Well, someone's got to do the thinking.
Yes, I know.
I mean, it only has to be one person.
So complete restart too, by the way.
Yes. Well, we didn't really get a lap into the race, did we? So not even half a lap.
We were nicely sitting for the day too.
Well. So then, we will reassemble the grid with Nick Rangeley on his own on the front row of the grid. There's still the two Harvey's towing HQs lining up on the second row of the grid of hang on, I've got to rethink that.
I'll come around for formation lap regardless anyway.
Now the timing monitor is showing that Jacob Scrivener is on pole position, but that's not the case. Nick Rangeley, I think, took, or is it? I'm just confused now. Nick Rangeley has lined up in grid. No, that's pole
right.
position. Yeah,
That's correct,
yeah.
as per before.
Yeah, so the timing monitor is lying to us. Dear oh dear. So yeah, Nick Rangeley, pole position. Grid 2, vacant. Grid 3 is Scott Andriski. Alongside him is Ben Simpson. Then we go to Troy Montgomery. And, Field's still sorting themselves out. Troy Montgomery, and alongside him is John Carter in car number 31. Hello. He's replaced his car. John Carter's actually in back on the grid in a whole nother car. It looks like Derek Risley's car, actually, that he's climbed aboard. Well then, after that, we have, yeah, sure enough. So, looks like, Tim Boyle has jumped up a spot on the grid for. Oh, okay. That's just going to get messy now. I think Tim Boyle is out of position on the grid. That's what's happened there. At least we know that since he's driving Derek Risley's car, that it would strongly suggest that Derek Risley is going to be his co-driver. Now,
I told you he was listening at home. Jamie Finesse is dialed in at home, and he's just laughing. He said, listening in. Thanks very much, guys. Until that Bonwick old fella that he's lost his edge. Ha ha ha.
Well, he's got a bit of work to do, as Gary in this one. He's buried in the grid, as we see. Now, Scott Andrisk and Ben Simpson is the second row of the grid. Then we have Troy Montgomery in the 17, and then there should be a vacant grid spot for John Carter. Now, Tim Boyle has moved up a grid spot, and I don't think that's right. But anyway, Corey Willis is next. Then we've got Jason Levitt, Brian Goldfinch, Samantha Rangeley, Gary Bonwick, Alan Shuttlewood, Warren Parker,
Where is Scrivener?
Brock Mitchell. Sorry?
Where is Scrivener?
Oh, he's further back. He's
But if we're going by that grid...
No, we're not. Yeah, that's because Scrivener's lap time on the timing monitor was a 1.6 second lap.
Okay, right.
So he's further back in the pack somewhere.
Okay.
So once you disallow that odd timing, he shuffles back into the pack somewhere in the region of Levitt, I think.
Okay, righto.
In fact, further up the grid than that, there he is. See him on the outside line.
A few holes on that grid.
I think he's lining up in grid 10, is Scrivener.
Alright, green flag about to drop. This is an 8-lap event.
So, now Nick Ranger is going to find out how alone it can be when you've got 2 fast HQs barreling down on you. In fact, maybe even 5 HQs barreling down on you. But he's going to hold the lead into turn 1. Here he is. And, well, the 2 Harvey's towing cars side by side. Simpson on the inside. Scott Andriski on the outside. As they line up.
They sort of need to work together, Mark, because they're going to need to draft and get onto this very nimble little car of Nick Rangeley's. Look at that field driving through here. They've done exactly that.
And Montgomery's wanting to get into the battle here as well.
Is that a certain old fella?
And Bonwick has come from the clouds.
Gary's arrived.
Scrivener's been buried in the pack. He's lost positions.
I've been away for a bit, guys. Remember me?
You just got me thinking of Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Remember me as we see that...
Bonwick dives back to the inside.
Well, Scott Andriski it is who's taken the lead. So
Gary Bonwick's now 3rd.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a nice pep talk, Jamie Finesse.
It worked. Oh dear.
By the way, folks, if you haven't worked it out, they're all related.
Willis is going for a big bomb dive here on Montgomery.
He's got him too.
And he's trying to get Ben Simpson as well. It's probably optimistic from back there.
One at a time.
Yeah. If at first you don't succeed, then force your way through. Yeah. Although the Gemini doesn't really have the mass to outmuscle a HQ. Not that they don't try. As we see Scott Andrisk leading the second lap of the race. Rangeley, followed by Gary Bonwick, then Simpson, then Montgomery. Or was that Willis? It was Willis, wasn't it? Have we lost Montgomery out of that leading pack?
Tell you what.
We have.
These 5 have bolted. There's Bonwick down the inside. Oh, there's one parked.
Now that looks like the Levitt car, the 76 HQ.
Not a good place to park either, just quietly.
Is that between? Yeah, that's on the short straight between 1 and 2. Yeah. Sort of roughly at turn in. No, before turn in for turn 2 actually. Bonwick's second now, got through Rangeley. And Montgomery's working his way forward. No, there's Levitt, so that's somebody else who's out there. That'll be Team Back actually. Peter Back driving today, his son Wayne to drive tomorrow. So unfortunately, that's Peter Back, one of the Capri veterans who's parked out there, and we've got a number of cars travelling slowly at the back of the field as well. And we've gone to clamp down. As we see the tow truck is on the circuit. The leaders were late picking up the clamp down, I think, but there would have been the radio call.
What a clamp down is, folks. This is it's a rolling safety car where the lights go to a solid red, and we actually everybody holds position on the racetrack.
It's
travelling at around about 80 kilometres an hour.
It's kind of similar to the virtual safety car, but
we've lost our timing screen as well.
Yeah, because no one's pressed a button in a while. I think that's all.
No, that's the channel it should be on.
No, that was I just pressed a volume button to try and get the screen back.
There's no
Unless
data.
we've just lost timing.
Sorry, lost timing just for giggles.
Actually, it's not Wayne Back. I can see Peter Back's car there, rear of field, so it hits somebody else. Oh dear. Oh, here's a better look at the car. Oh, that's not one of the Harvey towing cars, is it?
It is.
Might be the sort of third team car of Cunnington and Campbell.
Are we back to full race pace yet?
We shouldn't be. They are looking a little aggressive out on track, mind you. Okay, well, the errant car has now been hauled out of the way,
Should be green.
and I will suggest it's Noel Cunnington now. Only to be proven wrong in about 2 or 3 laps.
Tell you what, they're sizing each other up out there at the moment, aren't they? This car 12, problems for it.
That's Peter back, so he was back there anyway. But the car does look like it's running under speed.
Well, Rangeley's back in the game, really starting to punish the back of Bonwick's car now as they exit turn number 3. Coming through with them as well is that familiar Gemini, the Cure Automatics car.
Yeah, Willis is stuck on the back, and here goes Bonwick. Tries to sell a dummy and dived really late towards the inside line at turn 4. Did Andriski see? He's made the smallest amount of room possible, and it wasn't enough for Bonwick to get a foothold, so he drops back into second position. The website live timing's down as well, so
Okay, so we're in trouble.
We'll have to
make it up as we go along.
Well, old school. Yeah. Onto the straight then, we have Scott Andriski continuing to lead. Gary Bonwick sitting in second position. We've got Simpson versus Rangeley across the line for third. Willis tucked in behind them. Then Montgomery, Levitt, Scrivener, Mitchell, Boyle, Goldfinch, Samantha Rangeley. And then we've got Graving and
Bonwick
Parker
into the
side
lead.
by.
Although only momentarily on the exit.
Yeah, Andriski should have a better exit out of turn 2 and faster terminal speed, but he'll be on the outside line, so Bonwick should be able to hang on to the lead. And he comes Rangeley.
Straight down the inside, Rangeley.
Bang!
Thank you, mother, for the flowers. Now he's caught out wide.
Oh dear.
He's gone the long way
3
round.
wide. Oh, he's forced wide.
And have a look at this. This is a crackerjack run up front, but once again, to his credit, maintain the inside line, and again.
Yeah, Scott Andrisk will move back into the race lead. Bonwick not far enough ahead for the run into turn 4. In fact, he's going to be forced to make his own arrangements because Rangeley's coming through. Bonwick's going to be caught wide on the exit and brings up the dust as the right-hand side of the car. And here comes Ben Simpson on the outside line.
Bonwick's got the braking line for inside. Here comes, look at this, Willis into this battle as well.
And there's Montgomery. We now have 6 cars fighting for this race lead, 4 HQs and 2 Geminis, and
it's like a butcher's picnic.
it,
and Rangeley has gone back 3 places after that.
Yeah,
unbelievable battle. This is crackerjack stuff up front from our battle of the GMH Stars.
The race that's no longer known as the Golden Holden race. And I hope you're enjoying it, Russell Brunker, wherever you are.
Well, Jamie Finnis is dialed in. There you go, I know that car is leading.
Oh dear.
Something about Granddad's horsepower, I can tell you.
Now, Willis and Montgomery are both looking for the inside run. I think if Montgomery's waiting for the Gemini to brake, there's going to be trouble.
Yeah. Or don't use the same braking marks.
Oh, and here comes Levitt and Scrivener now, so let's make it an 8-car fight. So this battle's getting quite sufficiently vicious that they're backing the field up. There's Jason Levitt and there is Jake Scrivener. So Bonwick leads from Andriski, Simpson, Rangeley, Willis, Montgomery, Levitt and Scrivener as they run up the hanger straight towards turn 6. Now the two Harvey towing cars going at it for second place. Don't hit your teammate. Remember, don't hit your teammate.
That's it, no.
Scott Endrisk has got to be aware that that's not Joe alongside him. It's Ben Simpson. Oh, Willis has got the inside line on Rangeley by taking the narrowest of lines down the Dick Johnson straight, and noses in front. So Willis is up to 4th now. Spectator group there on the that's on the pit wall, of course, because we've got some of the co-drivers on screen there watching their respective teammates out there on track, all saying don't bend the car. Bonwick leads. Then we've got the two Harveys towing cars. Harvey Towing sponsors the HQ series this year. Now Willis is having a go at one of the Harvey towing cars here. Looks like Scott Endrisk still has the lead of the two. There used to be, once upon a time, the two Andriski cars were coloured differently. But now
that's right, yeah,
they're both the same, and you're making it harder for us, guys. You've got to look at race numbers. It's actually Simpsons who's got ahead of Scott Andriski here. So Simpson's into second position.
And Gary Bonwick's starting to drive away.
Yeah, well, it looks as though that Simpson and Andriski are working together now. I wonder if Ben decided that possibly, well, we'll work together once I'm in front.
That'd be a solution, wouldn't it? Whether it's the right one, I'm not sure.
Well, Willis and Rangeley are going with them, but they've dropped Girdlestone, they've dropped Montgomery.
Willis has pulled out of the draft again, trying to break the car down into turn number 3.
Yeah, it's back to a battle in 5. It was a battle in 8 briefly, but now there's just the 5 of them. You can see Girdlestone there clawing his way round. In fact, we've lost one of the leading group. There was a battle of 8 cars there, but now there's 5 with 2 stragglers. So who's missing? One of the HQs.
Side-by-side action down into turn number 4. Coming at him.
Bonwick, Simpson. Then we've got Willis side by side with Joe.
They pulled out checkered flag at the ready, Jonesy.
Here we go. This is the first of our.
Oh, look at Willis.
Oh, Rangeley.
Rangeley down the outside as well. Willis on the outside.
And Scott Andriski is completely swamped by the Isuzus. Bonwick's got the win. Simpson's going to follow across the line in his boot lid, and Willis is third, and it's a dead heat there between Nathan Rangeley and Scott Andriski.
Crackerjack finished that one.
Girdlestone followed. Scrivener was 6th. Then 7th place to Levitt, 8th to Mitchell, 9th to Goldfinch. Then Boyle rounds out the top 10, just ahead of Samantha Rangeley, who's done well. Then we have Warren Parker was next across the line, followed by Mark Graving in the 171 car. And then there's Maury Hook. Actually, that's not the checkered flag. Checkered flag's this time around.
It's here now.
Not being waved, though.
It's not because it's already been waved.
Okay.
That's the finish.